So just how much space junk is there?
Find each other in space at these very high speeds, collide and break up into very smaller pieces.
Now, space junk, as they are called, has become a new concern for space agencies.
Do you know about the celestial conundrum that's been silently floating above us for decades? Well, it's called space junk, and it's not just a random assortment of discarded satellites and rocket remnants. It's a legit problem. But what exactly is space junk? Since the groovy days of the 1950s, we've been launching rockets left and right, flinging satellites into orbit like confetti. Fast forward to today, and our cosmic backyard is cluttered with remnants of our spacefaring exploits. We're talking about dead satellites, rogue rocket bits, and even a few misplaced paint flecks, all coexisting in a celestial dance. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, have you ever wondered how much space junk is hanging out above us? Picture this, we've got around 2,000 active satellites, but guess what? There are also 3,000 dead ones playing the ultimate game of freeze tag in space. And it doesn't stop there. We're talking about a whopping 34,000 pieces of space junk larger than 10 centimeters. Plus millions of smaller bits just waiting to photobomb some interstellar selfie. So how on Earth, or off it, does all this space junk end up cluttering our cosmic backyard? Well, buckle up for this wild ride. Every single piece of space debris is our fault. Yep, blame it on humanity. We're like the cosmic DJs launching objects from Earth that party it up in orbit until they decide to re-enter the atmosphere. Now, the cool kids in the lower orbits might re-enter the scene after a few years, burning up and leaving no trace. But the rebels at higher altitudes, around 36,000 kilometers up, where our favorite weather satellites hang out, they're in it for the long haul, circling Earth for centuries like the coolest stars at the party. But hold on, because not all space junk is born from a peaceful orbit. Some of it comes from cosmic collisions or anti-satellite shenanigans. Picture this, two satellites playing cosmic bumper cars, colliding and smashing into thousands of new pieces. It's like a fireworks display, but with debris instead of sparklers. Sure, it's rare, but some countries like USA, China, and India have taken things up a notch by blowing up their own satellites just for kicks. Fireworks on a whole new level, creating thousands of dangerous debris pieces that stick around like the aftermath of a wild party. Now, why is this a problem, you ask? Well, imagine you're cruising through space, minding your own business on your high-tech space scooter, and suddenly, bam! Collision with a piece of space junk. Not cool, right? As we keep launching more stuff into space, the risk of these interstellar fender benders increases. Now, don't panic just yet. Collisions are rare, like finding a shooting star in a crowded galaxy. Last time a satellite got smacked by space junk was back in 2009, and the space party crashers are few and far between. In fact, astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS, are pros at dodging the space debris bullet. But let's not forget, there's always that lingering risk. Now, how in the universe are we going to clean up this mess? Well, here's the cosmic kicker. We can't. Yeah, you heard it right. We're in a bit of a pickle. Well, we can track space junk like cosmic detectives. Capturing it or deorbiting those retired satellites is like trying to herd space cats. It's nearly impossible. But fear not, because there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Introducing the game changer, orbital use fees. It's like paying rent for your satellite's parking spot in space. The more satellites you launch, the more you pay. It's an intergalactic toll booth, ensuring that space isn't just a free-for-all parking lot for our cosmic gadgets. Now I know what you're thinking. An international agreement on space fees? Is this some kind of space tax conspiracy? Not really. It's all about creating a responsible space neighborhood. By slapping fees on satellite operators, we're nudging them to think twice before cluttering up our orbital space with more cosmic clutter. Imagine a cleaner, tidier orbital playground where satellites frolic freely without the fear of accidental collisions. It's like turning a cluttered cosmic closet into a neatly organized space pantry. No more tripping over old rocket parts. But wait, there's more. This fee system could potentially fund space cleanup initiatives like cosmic custodians armed with high-tech brooms, sweeping away the debris. So not only does it discourage space littering, but it also funds the cleanup crew. Talk about a win-win. So what's the solution? Enter the cosmic superhero orbital use fees. It's like paying rent for your satellite's VIP spot in space. Economist Matthew Burgess and his brainy buddies suggest an annual fee, rising to about $235,000 per satellite. Why? Well, it turns out these fees could be the superhero cape we need to quadruple the value of the satellite industry by 2040. It's not just about dodging space junk, it's about boosting the long-term value of the entire space industry. Burgess explains it like this. Space is a shared playground, but some satellites are like the rowdy kids not considering the mess they leave behind. These fees would make satellite operators think twice before launching, considering the cosmic cleanup costs they might impose on others. Now picture this. As we speak, operators are launching satellites into orbit like there's no tomorrow. It's a satellite party up there, and everyone wants a piece of the cosmic pie. But here's the kicker. With every launch, we're not just expanding our space presence, we're creating a potential disaster zone. Because these satellites, like overexcited party guests, are crowding low Earth orbit, raising the risk of collisions and turning our celestial backyard into a space traffic nightmare. The brainiacs, researchers if you will, have been scratching their heads trying to figure out how to fix this mess. They've thrown everything from nets and harpoons to lasers in the mix, hoping to clear the cosmic clutter. But here's the cosmic truth. These technological or managerial fixes are like putting a band-aid on a space shuttle. They might temporarily patch things up, but they don't change the underlying problem. Akil Rao, the maestro behind the research and an economics wizard at Middlebury College, spilled the cosmic beans. He says it's not just an engineering puzzle, it's an incentive puzzle. In simpler terms, operators launch satellites until the risk of them crashing into each other equals the value of the satellite itself. So the more satellites you launch, the messier and riskier it gets. But Rao and his squad of stargazing thinkers have a game-changing solution. Rao clarifies, it's not about the launch, it's about the satellite hanging out in orbit causing potential chaos. These fees could come in various forms. Straight-up charges, tradable permits, or even orbit-specific fees. Why does orbit specificity matter? Well, it turns out not all orbits are created equal. Satellites in different orbits bring different collision risks to the cosmic table. So the fee for each satellite would be like a cosmic bill, factoring in the full cost of launching another satellite, including the projected costs of collision risk and space debris production. Now, the orbital use fee. With these fees, satellite operators have skin in the space game. They have to weigh the lifetime value of their satellites against the cost of cluttering up space and creating a cosmic collision derby. And that's a wrap. So what do you think about this next step? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more.